The war is over. The great city is a pile of black ash. The Greek heroes have sailed home. Agamemnon to his death, Menelaus to his palace. But one man is still missing. Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, the mastermind of the wooden horse. He has 12 red, proud ships. He has 600 men. He stands on the deck, looking west. He thinks of his wife, Penelope, and his son, Telemachus, whom he left as a baby 10 years ago. He thinks the journey will take a few weeks. He does not know that the gods have other plans. He does not know that the ocean is about to become his prison for another 10 years. He gives the order. Hoist the sails, and the nightmare begins. A storm drives them off course. For 9 days, they drift across the fish-infested sea. They land on a strange coastline. The air here is warm and thick. It smells of honey and flowers. Odysseus sends 3 men to scout the land. Hours pass. They do not return. Odysseus goes to find them. He finds the natives, the lotus eaters. They are peaceful, smiling, slow-moving people. They do not kill the scouts. They simply offer them a flower, the lotus. The scouts sit on the sand, staring at the horizon with glassy eyes. They are eating the honey-sweet fruit. As they eat, their memories dissolve. They forget their wives. They forget their children. They forget the war. All they want is to stay here, eating the flower, sleeping in the warm sun, forever. It is the death of the soul. Odysseus shakes them. Stand up. We are going home. Home? They whisper. Why? The sand is soft here. Odysseus has to drag them, weeping and screaming, back to the ships. He ties them to the rowing benches. He orders the ships to launch immediately, before the rest of the crew tastes the flower and forgets the way to Ithaca. They sail to the land of the Cyclopes, giant, one-eyed, lawless monsters who live in caves. Odysseus, always curious, always arrogant, wants to see one. He takes 12 men and a wineskin of strong, dark wine. They enter a massive cave filled with cheeses and lambs. They wait. At sunset, the ground shakes. Thud, thud, thud. A shadow blocks the entrance. Polyphemus, a giant as big as a mountain peak. He has a single, round eye in the center of his forehead. He drives his sheep in. Then he rolls a massive boulder across the entrance, a stone so heavy that 20 wagons could not move it. The trap is shut. Polyphemus lights a fire. He sees the tiny men trembling in the corner. Strangers, he grunts. Who are you? We are Greeks, Odysseus says, soldiers of Agamemnon. We ask for hospitality, as Zeus commands. Polyphemus laughs. It sounds like rocks falling down a cliff. I do not care for Zeus, he says. He reaches out with a hand the size of a tree branch. He grabs 2 of Odysseus's men. He dashes their heads against the rocks like puppies. He eats them, raw, crunching bones and flesh. Odysseus draws his sword. He wants to stab the giant in the liver, but he stops. If I kill him, he thinks, who will move the stone? We will die in this cave. So he waits. The next day, the giant eats 2 more men for breakfast and leaves, closing the stone. Odysseus hatches a plan. He finds a massive olive wood club in the cave. He sharpens the tip and hardens it in the fire. When Polyphemus returns and eats 2 more men, 6 are dead now, Odysseus steps forward. He offers the giant the strong wine. Polyphemus drinks. He loves it. He gets drunk. What is your name, little man? The giant asks, slurping. Tell me, and I will give you a gift. Odysseus replies with his greatest lie. My name is Nobody. Autis. Good, the giant laughs. My gift is this. I will eat nobody last. And the giant passes out, drunk. Odysseus acts. He and his men heat the olive steak in the fire until it glows red. They lift it high, they drive it straight into the giant's single, sleeping eye. Hiss. Polyphemus wakes with a scream that shakes the island. He pulls the stake out. He is blind. He shouts for his neighbor, Cyclopes. The other giants gather outside the cave. Polyphemus, why are you screaming? Who is hurting you? From inside, Polyphemus screams, "Nobody is killing me. Nobody is hurting me." The other giants shrug. "If nobody is hurting you, it must be a sickness from Zeus. Go back to sleep." They leave. Odysseus's trick worked. Morning comes. Polyphemus rolls away the stone to let his sheep out, sitting by the door to catch the men. But Odysseus is the man of twists. He ties his men underneath the bellies of the giant sheep. They ride out of the cave, hidden by the wool. They run to their ship. They launch into the sea. They are safe. But Odysseus suffers from hubris, pride. He cannot let the giant think he was beaten by a nobody. As the ship sails away, Odysseus stands on the deck and shouts, "Hey, Cyclops, if anyone asks who blinded you, tell them it was Odysseus, the sacker of cities, the son of Laertes, king of Ithaca." Polyphemus hears the name. He raises his hands to the sky. He prays to his father, and his father is Poseidon, the god of the ocean. "Father," the giant prays, "if I am your son, grant me this. Let Odysseus never reach his home. Or, if he is destined to return, let him come late, in a bad state, having lost all his men, on a stranger's ship, and let him find trouble in his house." Deep in the ocean, Poseidon hears the prayer. He grabs his trident. The sea turns black. Odysseus has just made an enemy of the ocean itself. They sail to the floating island of Aeolus, the keeper of the winds. Aeolus likes Odysseus. He listens to his stories of Troy. To help him home, Aeolus captures all the stormy winds, the north, south, and east winds. He traps them in a bag made of ox skin. He ties it with a silver cord. He leaves only the west wind free to blow Odysseus gently home. "Do not open the bag," Aeolus warns. They sail. For 9 days and nights, Odysseus does not sleep. He holds the tiller, his eyes fixed on the horizon. Finally, he sees it. Ithaca. He sees the smoke rising from his own chimney. He sees people walking on the shore. He is so close, he could shout to them. Overcome with relief, exhaustion finally takes him. Odysseus sleeps, but his men are suspicious. "What is in that bag?" they whisper. "Gold? Silver? Why does the captain keep it all for himself?" Greed takes over. While Odysseus sleeps, they untie the silver cord. Whoosh! The winds explode out of the bag. A hurricane is unleashed instantly. The ship spins. Ithaca vanishes. They are blown all the way back to Aeolus. Odysseus wakes up to find his homeland gone. He begs Aeolus for help again, but Aeolus drives him away. "Get out! You are a man hated by the gods. I will not help you twice." They sail on, depressed and tired. They enter a harbor surrounded by steep cliffs. It looks safe. The water is calm. 11 of Odysseus's ships sail into the harbor. Odysseus, sensing danger, keeps his own ship outside, tied to a rock. It is a trap. This is the land of the Laestrygonians. They are not men. They are giants, but not stupid like the Cyclops. They are organized. They stand on the cliffs above the harbor. They do not speak. They simply drop boulders. Massive rocks smash through the decks of the 11 Greek ships. The ships sink. The men swim in the water like bobbing apples. The giants climb down. They spear the swimming men like fish. They carry them off to be eaten. Odysseus watches in horror from outside the harbor. He sees his friends, his army, destroyed in minutes. He cuts his cable. "Row!" he screams. "Row for your lives!" Only one ship escapes. The other 11 are gone. The 600 men are now 50. One ship alone. They land on the island of Aea. The forest is quiet. Too quiet. Wolves and lions walk up to the men, but they do not bite. They wag their tails like dogs. They are men who have been transformed. Odysseus sends a group led by Eurylochus to explore. They find a house made of polished stone. Inside, a woman is singing. She is weaving on a great loom. She is Circe, the goddess of magic, the daughter of the sun. She invites the men inside. She gives them cheese, barley, and wine mixed with drugs. As they eat, she taps them with her wand. Poof! Their skin turns pink. Their noses become snouts. Their hands become hooves. They turn into pigs. But, and this is the horror, they keep their human minds. They are trapped in swine bodies, crying, aware of their fate. Eurylochus escapes and runs back to Odysseus. Odysseus grabs his sword. He goes alone to save them. On the way, the god Hermes meets him. He gives Odysseus a black root with a white flower, moly. It protects against magic. Odysseus enters the palace. Circe gives him the poisoned wine. She taps him with her wand. "Down to the sty," she commands. Nothing happens. Odysseus draws his sword and jumps at her throat. Circe screams, falling to her knees. "Who are you? You are the only man to resist my spell." She realizes this is the hero of prophecy. She swears an oath not to harm him. She turns the pigs back into men, younger and taller than before. Odysseus and his men stay with Circe. They enter a trance of pleasure. Good food, soft beds, magic. They stay for a month, then 2, then 6. They stay for a whole year. They forget their grief. They almost forget Ithaca. Finally, the men shake Odysseus. "Captain, we must go home." Odysseus wakes from his daze. He asks Circe for leave. "You may go," Circe says, "but you cannot go straight home. To cross the ocean safely, you must ask the prophet Tiresias." "But Tiresias is dead," Odysseus says. "I know," Circe replies. "You must sail to the end of the ocean. You must go to the house of Hades. You must go to hell." They sail to the edge of the world, to the land of the Cimmerians, where the sun never shines. Odysseus beaches the ship. He digs a trench with his sword. He pours libations, milk, honey, wine, and water. Then he cuts the throats of 2 black sheep. The dark blood flows into the trench, and they come. Swish, swish. The souls of the dead rise from the mist. They are like smoke, fluttering, screeching like bats. They are thirsty for the blood, for only by drinking it can they remember who they were. Odysseus draws his sword. He must hold them back. He sits by the blood, a living man guarding a pool of life in the land of death. First comes Tiresias, the blind prophet. He drinks and speaks. "You seek a sweet journey home, Odysseus, but a god makes it hard. Poseidon hates you, yet you may still get home if you control your men. When you reach the island of Thrinacia, you will see the cattle of the sun. Leave them unharmed. If you hurt them, your ship will be destroyed, and you will return home alone, a broken man." Then a ghost approaches that breaks Odysseus's heart. Anticlea, his mother. She was alive when he left for Troy. Odysseus weeps. "Mother, how did you die? Was it sickness?" She drinks the blood and looks at him with sad eyes. No, my son, it was not sickness. It was my longing for you. I sat by the window every day, waiting for your sail. The grief ate my heart, and I died of a broken spirit. Odysseus tries to hug her. 3 times he reaches out, and 3 times she slips through his fingers like a shadow. Then comes Agamemnon, the High King. He is weeping. Do not trust women, Odysseus, the ghost says bitterly. I came home a victor, and my wife Clytemnestra murdered me in my bath. When you go home, steer your ship in secret. Finally, the ghost of Achilles stalks out of the dark. Odysseus tries to praise him. You are a king down here, Achilles. You have glory. Achilles snarls, Do not speak to me of death's glory, Odysseus. I would rather be a slave to a poor farmer on earth, sweating in the sun, than be the king of all these dead shadows. The lesson is learned. Glory is nothing. Life is everything. Horrified by the increasing number of ghosts, Odysseus runs back to the ship. They row away, pale and shaken. They return to the sunlight. Circe gives them final instructions. First danger, the sirens, creatures who sing so beautifully that men forget to sail, forget to eat, and rot away on the beach, listening to them. Odysseus wants to hear the song. He is the man who must know everything. He orders his men, Plug your ears with beeswax. Tie me to the mast. If I scream to be untied, tie me tighter. They approach the island. The wind dies. The sea becomes unnaturally calm. Then the song begins. It is not a song of lust. It is a song of knowledge. Come here, Odysseus. We know everything that happened at Troy. We know the sorrows of your life. Come, rest, Odysseus screams. The music pierces his soul. It promises him understanding. It promises him peace. He struggles against the ropes. The veins in his neck bulge. Untie me, let me go to them. But Eurylochus and Perimedes stand up and bind him with more ropes. The crew, deaf to the world, rows on. Only when the island fades into the distance do they unplug their ears. Odysseus collapses on the deck, exhausted by the desire for death. Now comes the impossible choice. They enter a narrow strait. On one side is Charybdis, a whirlpool that sucks the entire ocean down 3 times a day and vomits it back up. If the ship goes there, everyone dies. On the other side is Scylla, a monster living in a cave on a cliff. She has 6 long necks, 6 heads with 3 rows of teeth. She yelps like a puppy, but she eats men. Circe had warned, better to lose 6 men than to lose them all. Hug the cliff of Scylla. Odysseus does not tell his men. If they knew a monster was waiting, they would stop rowing and hide below deck. He puts on his armor and stands at the prow. They sail into the strait. The sound is deafening. Charybdis roars on the left, exposing the dark, sandy bottom of the sea. The men are terrified, watching the whirlpool, while their eyes are fixed on the water. Scylla strikes from the air. Swoosh! 6 heads shoot down like snakes. Odysseus turns. He sees 6 of his best men lifted into the air, their feet dangling, screaming his name for the last time. Odysseus, help us! Scylla drags them into her cave. There is the sound of crunching bones. Odysseus stands on the deck, helpless. It is the most pitiful sight he has ever seen. But he cannot stop. They row frantically past the danger. 6 seats are empty. The survivors cry as they row. They arrive at the island of Thrinacia. Odysseus remembers the prophecy. Do not stop here. But the men are exhausted. Eurylochus argues, Are you made of iron, Captain? We are dying of fatigue. Let us sleep on the beach just for one night. Odysseus agrees, but makes them swear a solemn oath. Do not touch the cattle grazing on this island. They belong to Helios, the sun god. Eat only the food Circe gave us. They swear. But the gods are cruel. A storm blows in. The south wind rages for a month. They cannot leave. The food runs out. The wine runs out. The men begin to hunt birds and fish, but they are starving. Their ribs show through their skin. One day, Odysseus goes inland to pray to the gods for a way out. The gods put him into a deep sleep. While he sleeps, Eurylochus speaks to the men. Listen to me. All deaths are hateful, but starving to death is the worst. Let us kill the best cows for the gods. If we get home, we will build a temple. If Helios destroys us, better to drown quickly than to waste away slowly. They agree. They drive the holy cattle. They cut their throats. The smell of roasting fat fills the air. Odysseus wakes up. He smells the meat. He cries out, "Father Zeus, you have ruined me with sleep." The meat on the spits begins to bellow. The skins of the dead cows crawl on the ground. It is a cursed feast. Helios, the sun, sees this. He shouts to Zeus, "Father, punish the men of Odysseus. If you don't, I will go down to Hades and shine the sun among the dead." Zeus replies, "Shine on, sun. I will strike their ship with a white-hot bolt." The storm lifts for a moment. The men launch the ship, bellies full of cursed meat. As soon as they lose sight of land, a black cloud covers the sky. The sea turns purple. The wind snaps the mast. It falls and crushes the pilot's skull. Then Zeus strikes. A bolt of lightning hits the ship. The vessel spins like a toy. It fills with sulfur smoke. The men are thrown into the water. They bob like sea crows around the black ship. There is no help for them. They drown. All of them. Eurylochus, Perimedes, the young ones, the old ones. Gone. Only Odysseus survives. He ties the mast and keel together to make a raft. He drifts. The storm blows him back towards Charybdis. The whirlpool sucks his raft down. Odysseus jumps and hangs onto a fig tree branch dangling over the abyss. He hangs there like a bat, waiting for hours until the whirlpool vomits his raft back up. He drops onto the timber. He paddles with his hands. For 9 days, he drifts alone on the vast ocean, sunburned, dehydrated, wishing for death. He washes up on the island of Ogygia. A beautiful nymph finds him, Calypso. She takes him to her cave. She heals him. She loves him. She offers him immortality. Stay with me, and you will never die. You will never age. But Odysseus sits on the rocky shore every day. He stares at the grey sea. Tears stream down his face. He is a prisoner of paradise. He has no ship. He has no men. He is alone. 7 years pass. The hero of Troy is gone. Only the broken man remains. The Phaeacians, a race of magical sailors, take pity on Odysseus. They put him on a fast, black ship. He falls into a sleep so deep it looks like death. While he sleeps, they land on Ithaca. They lay him on the sand, surrounded by gifts of gold and bronze, and sail away. Odysseus wakes up. He looks around. The mist is thick. He does not recognize the land. He weeps. Have they tricked me? Where am I? Then the mist clears. A shepherd boy walks toward him. But the boy shimmers. The boy grows tall, beautiful, and terrifying. It is Athena. "You are a fool, Odysseus," she smiles. "You are home." She touches the earth. The familiar mountains of Ithaca appear. Odysseus kisses the grain-giving ground. But you cannot go to the palace, Athena warns. Your house is full of wolves. 108 suitors are eating your food and drinking your wine, trying to force Penelope to marry one of them. If you walk in now, they will kill you. She taps him with her wand. His golden hair falls out. His skin shrivels like old bark. His clothes turn into filthy rags. The king becomes a beggar. Odysseus walks to his palace. He hides his face. Outside the gates, on a pile of dung, lies a dog, Argos. Odysseus raised him as a puppy before he left for Troy. He was a swift hunter. Now he is old, flea-bitten, and abandoned. But dogs know what men do not. Argos hears the footsteps. He smells the scent beneath the rags. He lifts his head. He drops his ears. He wags his tail. He tries to stand up to greet his master, but he is too weak. Odysseus sees him. He turns his face away to hide a tear. That dog, Odysseus says to his companion, was once a fine animal. Argos, having seen his master one last time after 20 years of waiting, lays his head down and dies. The first welcome home is a goodbye. Odysseus reveals himself to his son, Telemachus, in the hut of the swineherd. Telemachus thinks he is seeing a god. No mortal could change from old to young so fast. I am no god, Odysseus says. I am your father. They embrace. They cry shrill tears, like hawks whose nestlings have been stolen. Then they dry their eyes. The time for crying is over. How many are there? Odysseus asks. Over 100, Telemachus says, and they are armed. Good, Odysseus says. Then they will not escape. Go to the palace. Hide all the weapons in the storeroom. Leave only 2 swords and 2 spears for us. And tell no one, I am here. Not even your mother. The next day, the great hall. The suitors are feasting. They mock the old beggar sitting in the corner. They throw a stool at him. Odysseus sits still as a rock. He watches. He counts them. Penelope, the queen, enters. She is beautiful and sad. She holds a great object in her hand, the bow of Odysseus. It is made of horn and wood. It is so stiff that no ordinary man can string it. Listen to me, my suitors, she announces. I am done waiting. I will marry the man who can string this bow and shoot an arrow through the holes of 12 axe heads lined up in a row. The contest begins. One by one, the suitors try. They grease the bow with fat. They strain. They grunt. Their faces turn red. They cannot even bend it. The bow laughs at them. Then the beggar stands up. Let me try, he says. The suitors roar with laughter. Sit down, old fool. You are drunk. But Telemachus shouts, give him the bow. I am the master of this house. The hall goes quiet. Odysseus takes the bow. He turns it in his hands, checking for termites. Then, effortlessly, like a bard stringing a lyre, he bends the great weapon. He hooks the string. He plucks it. Twang. The sound rings through the hall like the cry of a swallow. The suitors turn pale. Zeus sends a clap of thunder from the blue sky. The signal. Odysseus grabs an arrow. He does not even stand up from his stool. He fires. The arrow flies straight as a laser. It passes through all 12 axe heads and buries itself in the wall. Odysseus looks at his son. The game is over. Odysseus rips off his rags. He stands on the threshold, chest bare, holding the bow. He pours the arrows out onto his feet. Antinous, the leader of the suitors, is lifting a golden cup of wine to his lips. He is happy. Odysseus aims. The arrow strikes Antinous in the throat. The point punches through the back of his neck. He drops the cup. He falls. Blood jets from his nose, staining the bread and meat on the table. The suitors jump up. They look for the weapons on the walls, but the walls are bare. Telemachus has hidden them all. "You dogs," Odysseus screams. "You thought I would never come home from Troy. You fleeced my house. You twisted my maids. You courted my wife while I was still alive. Now the trap is shut. You will die in blood." It is chaos. Eurymachus tries to bargain. "We will pay you back. Gold, oxen." "Not for all the gold in the world," Odysseus says. He shoots Eurymachus in the liver. The arrows fly. One by one, the men fall. When the arrows run out, Telemachus brings the spears. Odysseus, Telemachus, the swineherd, and the cowherd. 4 men against 100. But Athena watches from the rafters in the form of a swallow. Whenever a suitor throws a spear, she nudges it off course. It is a massacre. The floor smokes with blood. The screams echo off the stone walls. Finally, there is silence. The 108 men lie in heaps, like fish dumped onto the sand, gasping for air until the sun takes their life. The king has reclaimed his castle. The nurse runs to Penelope. "Wake up. Odysseus is home. He has killed the suitors." Penelope descends the stairs. She sees the man covered in blood and gore. She does not run to him. She sits and watches. She is careful. The world is full of tricks. Is this a god? Is this an impostor? Telemachus is angry. "Mother, your heart is stone. Why do you not hug him?" Odysseus smiles. "Leave her be. She is testing me." Odysseus bathes. Athena restores his beauty, making him look taller and stronger. He returns to her. "Strange woman," he says, "I will sleep alone tonight. Nurse, make up a bed for me outside the room." Penelope speaks. "Yes, nurse. Move the heavy bedstead out of the chamber and put blankets on it." Odysseus spins around. He is angry. "Woman, who moved my bed? That is impossible. I built that bed myself. I built the room around an olive tree. I used the trunk of the tree as the bedpost. It is rooted in the earth. No mortal man could move it." Penelope's knees go weak. This was the secret sign. Only they knew about the tree. She bursts into tears. She runs to him. She throws her arms around his neck. "Do not be angry, my love. I had to know. I had to be sure." Odysseus holds her. He is the man who conquered Troy. He is the man who sailed to hell and back. But holding his wife, this is the greatest victory. That night, the sun delays its rising, giving them a long night to tell their stories. The Odyssey is over. The wanderer is home. The bow is hung back on the wall. The blood has been washed from the stones. The shouts of the suitors are gone, replaced by the quiet breathing of a house at peace. The long war is finished. The long journey is done. Odysseus sleeps. His hair is grey now. His hands are scarred. But his heart is still. The ocean that tried to kill him for 10 years now gently laps against the shores of his kingdom. It is no longer an enemy. It is just water. You have traveled a long way tonight. You have seen giants and witches. You have seen the dead and the divine. But now the sails are furled. The anchor is dropped. You are in the harbor. Let the story fade. Let the waves rock you gently. There are no more monsters to fight. There is only rest. Deep, slow, eternal rest.